Coming up, The Saint's Shadow, Gautam Khattar and the Letters of Saint Francis Xavier. Namaste friends, my name is Shil Subramanian Payamal and you are listening to the Histology Podcast. Before I proceed, a full disclosure. This special podcast episode is based on the contents from the book The Life and Letters of Saint Francis Xavier by Henry James Coleridge. On 24th April 2026, a man named Gautam Khattar, a YouTuber and the founder of Sanatan Mahasangh, was tracked down and arrested in the quiet hills of Kulu, Himachal Pradesh. He hadn't committed a physical crime in those mountains. He was running away from a fire he had started 2,000 kilometers away in Goa. Khattar's crime? A speech. A speech where he called one of the most revered figures in Christian history, Saint Francis Xavier, a terrorist. To some, Khattar is a provocator, inciting communal tension. To others, he is a man pointing at history and asking uncomfortable questions. Today, we aren't just looking at the arrest, we are looking at the book that likely fueled the fire. It began in Vasco, Goa, during the Parshuram Jayanti celebrations. Khattar stood before a crowd and didn't just critique a saint, he attacked a symbol. For many Goans, Saint Francis Xavier is Goencho Saib, the Protector of Goa. But Khattar's rhetoric was based on a specific reading of history, one that claims the missionaries' methods were anything but saintly. But where do these claims come from? Are they fake news or are they documented in the church's own archives? To understand the roots of this anger, we have to go back to 1542. We have to look at the words of the Jesuits themselves, specifically the book The Lifetime Letters of Saint Francis Xavier by Henry James Coleridge. In these pages, we don't find a soft-spoken mystic. We find a man on a mission of total spiritual conquest. When Xavier arrived in India, he didn't speak Tamil or Konkani. He used a bell, a translated catechism, and a very specific target, children. Quote, "These children, I trust heartily, by the grace of God, will be much better than their fathers. They show an ardent love for the divine law. Their hatred for adultery is marvelous." Unquote. Xavier wasn't just teaching them prayers. He was training an army of iconoclasts. He wrote about taking this band of children to the homes and temples of their own parents. Quote, "Whenever I hear of any act of idolatrous worship, I go to the place with a large band of these children, who very soon load the devil with a greater amount of insult. The children run at the idols, upset them, dash them down, break them to pieces, spit on them, trample on them, kick them about." Unquote. The controversy Khattar tapped into isn't just about the theology, it's about the destruction of physical heritage. Xavier's letters don't hide the joy he felt in the demolition of Hindu temples. Quote, "When all are baptized, I order all the temples of these false gods to be destroyed and all the idols to be broken in pieces. I can give you no idea of the joy I feel in seeing this done." Unquote. He identified the Brahmins as his greatest obstacle, calling them liars and cheats to the very backbone. He said this about them: "The Brahmins are the most perverse people in the world." This historical friction is exactly what Gautam Khattar brought to the stage in 2026. Khattar's argument is that the saint status ignores the hammer. He claims Xavier didn't need to swing the hammer himself because he had successfully turned a generation of children against their own ancestors' faith. Here are a few more quotes by Saint Xavier mentioned in the book. "All the invocations of the pagans are hateful to God because all their gods are devils. Hindus are an unholy race and liars and cheats to the very backbone. Hindu gods and their idols are as dirty as they are ugly and horrible to look at. The great majority of their idols are as black can be, and moreover are generally so rubbed over with oil as to smell detestably, and seem to be as dirty as they are ugly. I can give you no idea of the joy I feel in seeing this done, witnessing the destruction of the idols by the very people who but lately adored them. If it not were for the opposition of the Brahmins, we should have all them embracing the religion of Jesus Christ. Hindu rituals, marriages, festivals and even wearing traditional attire are scandalous and adulterous practices that must be suppressed. The Goa police booked Khattar for hurting religious sentiments. In a pluralistic India, the law seems to maintain harmony. The church in Goa called his remarks venomous and laced with falsehoods. But this leaves us with a haunting question for our modern age. How do we handle historical truth when it conflicts with modern peace? If a primary source, Xavier's own letters, describe the actions today we would call radical, is it hate speech to talk about them? Or is the way Khattar talked about them, using terms like terrorist, the line that shouldn't be crossed? Gautam Khattar is currently in custody facing the consequences of his words. Meanwhile, the relics of Saint Francis Xavier remain in the Basilica of Bom Jesus, attracting millions, mostly Hindus. The history is written in stone and ink. The piece, however, is written in how we choose to talk about it. Thanks for listening to this special episode. Really grateful. Please don't forget to subscribe to Histology Podcast on your favorite podcasting app, and also feel free to leave a review. Also, please check histology.com for all previous episodes. Thanks and looking forward to hearing from you. Take care and bye.